Hi my lovelies, today I'm here with an update. It is 4 days past 5-day embryo transfer. I just wanted to tell you what I'm feeling, what's going on. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Raya and me and my partner, we have a daughter, a biological daughter. She is almost 9 years old and we feel like we're not quite complete yet. We want to grow our family and do whatever we can. I had a miscarriage 2.5 years ago. I conceived naturally the first cycle we tried, and after that it never worked out again. Last year we had a frozen embryo transfer, 2 donated embryos. Sadly, I had a miscarriage at 10 weeks. It was a blighted ovum, meaning that we never saw an embryo. Just this gestational sac kept growing and I had all the symptoms. Last week we went to the Czech Republic, to Carlsbad, and we had another transfer of 2 embryos. It was planned to actually have frozen embryos, but it worked out to where the clinic, they told me when I checked in and talked to the doctor, they said, well, today you're gonna get 2 fresh embryos. It just happened to work out that way. They had a donor come in that Monday. They usually have young donors. In the Czech Republic, there is the law that it has to be all anonymous, and usually they're quite young women and men who are donors. Why did we not use my partner as the sperm donor? It's just, we thought about it for a really long time and we thought, it just would be best, you know, if it's none of our biological child, it would feel more like, I don't know, I can't explain it, like, let's just adopt a child, but I'm the one who's going to be pregnant with a child. So here is what I've been feeling. I don't know if it's because of taking progesterone. All I'm taking is vaginal progesterone. We used a natural or a modified natural cycle, meaning we just waited for my own natural ovulation until the follicle size was a specific size. It was 19 centimeters on the day that I triggered with an HCG shot. That helps the final maturation state of your egg and the follicle to burst and release the egg. So you actually ovulate. The reason why we do the HCG trigger shot is because it's for timing reasons. 2 days after the trigger shot, you actually start taking the progesterone, but only vaginally, because you actually do have your own corpus luteum, and you're just using the progesterone as a support just in case you don't have enough. And I am 46. I'm actually turning 47 in a week and a half. So I am really keeping my fingers crossed that this is going to be my best birthday gift if I find out that I am pregnant. So my symptoms, the day that I came back from the transfer, the day off, I didn't feel anything except I was just really tired. The next day I felt also really, really tired. 2 days after transfer, I started feeling a little bit nauseous. Not a lot, just a little bit, and I thought this can only be maybe from the progesterone, although I had been taking it like a week before, started it a week before, but maybe sometimes it has different effects. Last year I took the progesterone and it seemed to not really give me any side effects, like any symptoms, and I did turn out to be pregnant last year. However, yesterday, which means 3 days past transfer, I started feeling so nauseous. I was very, very nauseous, and today when I got up, I thought, oh, okay, it's not so bad. I feel quite good. Did all my stuff, got some work done, and then I had breakfast. I usually have kind of a late breakfast. I do a lot of intermittent fasting, but I'm not doing it right now. I want to just try to keep my blood sugar levels, my insulin levels very nice and evened out. So wanted to have a late breakfast, and right after I got through eating, I felt so sick. I had to lie down. It was like, oh, my stomach. It's like I felt very gaggy. So I don't know if that could be, a sign of implantation, or I have no idea if it's from the progesterone. I did some research and I wanted to know, is there a difference between frozen embryos and how long does it take them to implant and fresh embryos? And what I read, at least what Google told me, was that frozen embryos take about 4 to 5 days to implant, and fresh embryos take 1 to 2 days to implant, which means the implantation already started happening the day after the transfer. Which then, again, of course, would make sense why I could be potentially experiencing symptoms 2 and 3, today 4 days after the transfer. It might be that implantation has already occurred, or it's not like a process that only takes a day. It's like it takes place over a few days because there's a lot of stuff happening. I watched very interesting videos about this. I'm going to try to find that one video that explained everything in such good detail, just to kind of understand the actual implantation process and how much is all actually involved in that. There's a lot that has to go right. So there's a lot of potential for, something failing there. Other than that, 2 and 3 days post-transfer, yesterday was 3 days post-transfer. In the morning, I had moderate cramping. I'm usually never really crampy when I have my period or any other time. I don't really have cramps. The only times I really always had cramps was when I was pregnant. I could actually feel my uterus doing something. It's not contraction, because contraction would mean that your uterus is expelling something, but it is stretching and there's something going on. Blood vessels start growing and you might feel nidation, which is implantation. So that's all that I'm feeling right now. And how am I doing mentally? Oh my goodness, it's this, everyone who's ever gone through the 2-week wait knows this. It's this constant back and forth between, oh, I know it worked. It must be, because I'm feeling it. And I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the hormones, and like in a couple days my period will start. Or maybe it won't even start because it's, the progesterone is masking the fact that I'm not pregnant. My body thinks I'm pregnant, but not really. And it's this always, you go in this loop of like, yeah, it did work. And then you're like, nah, I think not. I don't want to get my hopes up. My daughter, she is so supportive and she is so sweet. She says she has magic hands and she has the X-ray view. She can look through and see what's going on. And so every day she puts her hands on my belly and she's like, oh yeah, baby 1 went into this corner, baby 2 just moved slightly this way. They're both there, they're both alive, and they're both growing. And I told her if she's right, if it's gonna be 2 babies, she's gonna get something for 50 euros. I'm gonna buy her a gift. There's a doll she wants so desperately. And I told her, if you're right, like we're making a bet here or something. If you're right, you're gonna get something for 50 euros. If there's only 1 baby, you're gonna get something for 30 euros. If there's no baby, we're just gonna maybe have a nice dinner together or something, because it would be sad. But that's where I'm at right now. There's really not much else going on. Am I going to test? When am I going to test? At this point, I don't know. I don't want to test early, and I'll tell you why. I know that there are a lot of women who just start testing right away, like even 2 or 3 days after transfer, and then test every day to see if the line is getting darker, to see the progression. However, I've just watched too many videos of women who 4 or 5 days after transfer, they got a slight positive, and it did get a little bit darker, but not much. And then they had this guessing game, like every day, like, is it darker? Is it lighter? Oh my goodness. And then a lot of times it turns out just to be a biochemical, which means, there was some implantation, but then it didn't really work. And I don't want to be in that position. I'm a little bit afraid to test early and then, to be really happy and then to worry every day. And I don't want to worry every day. I just want to listen to my body and still tell myself, at this point, it could go either way. There's nothing for sure. And then I don't know when I'll take a test. I'll just this weekend, my mom is coming to visit us. So I don't know. She knows about everything. I told her, well, it's going to be at least a couple weeks until we can find out. So I'm not sure. On the one hand, I would love to have her support, whether I'm positive or negative. It would be kind of nice, even if she were here, to do it all together as a family. to have everyone here. On the other hand, you know, if it's negative, then, I mean, it would be nice to have the support, but I don't know. I'm not sure at this point. Do I want to know? This weekend would be cycle day 9, or it would be 9 days after transfer. The clinic actually told me to wait until, I think they said even 17 or 18 days past transfer, which I don't know why they want me to wait that long. They want to wait that long to get an actual blood test. They told me, don't, like, urine test doesn't really matter to us because, you know, we need to know the actual beta number. What is the HCG? So I guess they just don't want women to be like calling back and saying, yeah, I'm pregnant. And then 3 days later, they're like, oh, but I'm not pregnant anymore. They just want you to wait it out and then be 100% for sure 18 days after transfer. By that time, I think it's, you know, if it's positive, there's going to be a really reasonable high number. And if it's negative, it's going to be very clear because it's going to be like very, very low number. That's my update. Thank you so much for watching. I will give you an update whenever I have something. If I'm testing, I don't know. If there's anything else happening, I'll let you know. I just thought it would be interesting to tell you what's been happening so far. And just trying to keep my mind occupied. I am very busy. I'm about to make lunch, and probably after I eat lunch, I'll be nauseous again, which I would be happy about, because then I would think like, okay, I've only ever had that kind of nausea when I was actually pregnant. However, I was pregnant 3 times in my life. I only have 1 child that's alive. So I had 2 miscarriages. And with my daughter, it didn't start until like week 6 or so. So we'll see what happens. Stay patient. And whatever the outcome is, like I said in my last video, those 2 embryos were meant to be with me. They were with me on the day of transfer. I know for sure. And I'm grateful, whatever happens, that my thoughts are always with them. No matter what happens, what the outcome is, they were already part of our family in some way. So yeah. There was love already toward them. Have a great day. I'll see you soon, and stay healthy and always keep on hoping.